Okay, hi everyone, welcome to lesson 2 of summer term 2. Today we are going to be starting our tour of world music. Now the reason for this is there's lots of different styles that come up in your GCSE and I thought it would be really good for us to start to do that now. Okay, so in today's lesson, what I'd like us to be able to do is once again listen and analyse a new genre of music. Now today's is merengue, so that is honestly what the whole lesson is going to be focused around. I want you to understand the key features of that style and compose it in your own rhythm. Okay, so on to your do now for this lesson. This is your activity 2.1 in your booklet, so please make sure that you have that with you. You'll notice a big difference from last lesson that I have taken off most of the keywords to support you here. You are going to be listening to Merengue de Limon, which is going to be your new piece for today. I would like you to please pause the video at this point. I have put the YouTube link in the description box for this, so please make sure that you go and listen to that. Answer in as much detail as you possibly can, and make sure you're adding in all those keywords. Now you've listened to it. Activity 2.2 is something a little bit different. I would like you to draw how that piece makes you feel, how your response to that piece of music. Now for me, that could take whatever form you fancy. There is space there for you to be able to fill. You can use as much colour as you want. You can doodle as much as you like on that little bit, as long as it is related to the piece that you have just listened to. You can put words that it makes you think of. You can draw. I don't mind however this piece takes form, but I would like you to now pause the video for 5 minutes to make you really focus on your work. Okay, now you've listened to it, you might be thinking, Miss, it's good, I enjoy it, but I have no idea where the Dominican Republic is. I don't know much about the Caribbean, and I don't know anything about this style of music. You'll notice for activity 2.3 that you have some questions to answer, but before you can answer those questions, you actually need to listen to what I'm saying. Now, I will be honest with you, some of this will come up on the screen, some of it won't. So it might be that at times you want to pause it, come back to it, I really don't mind. Now, some fun facts about the Dominican Republic. Okay, Santo Domingo, apologies, is the oldest city in the Americas. It was founded in 1946. The next fun fact, it has 2 unique types of stone that can only be found there and nowhere else in the world. That is Dominican amber and Dominican larimar. The bird that you can see on this screen here is actually the national bird of the country, and it's totally unique. It's called the palm chat. Now that actually translates in Spanish to mean palm tree, most commonly thought because they would have been found in palm trees. You will also see on this slide exactly where the Dominican Republic is in the world, okay, and where the Caribbean islands are, as you can see, between the 2 Americas. You can also notice that I've put on the national flag a little bit about food and just an idea of what the dress would look like. But you've heard all that, you know all of that. It now is the point for you to start thinking, I need to know about the music. Now, the music has very, very different influences. You'll notice that there's quite a few Spanish influences in there, some African influences, and that all comes from the fact that the people who live in the Caribbean wouldn't have normally come from there. They would have ended up being transported there from other parts of the world, and therefore you have this fusion and this influence in the music. It is also mainly written in the 2/4 meter, so it's 1, 2, and has quite a fast tempo. Syncopated rhythms, now this, remember, is where it's slightly off the beat, and it's used heavily in this style of music, often in the tambora instrument, which is a drum instrument. The reason for that is it just creates a little bit more of a dance-like feel and gives the dancers something to go off. The harmony used in this type of music uses the tonic and the dominant, so it's very simple harmony. Remember, the tonic is the first note of the scale and the dominant is the fifth note of the scale. So if I was thinking about my C major scale, that would mean that my harmony was focused around C and G. The melodies and the rhythms are really catchy throughout. You'll see from below the merengue rhythm makes it so that everything is really accented. There's lots of uses of the semiquaver and also of the dotted rhythm. Maybe this might be something that you want to think about in your activity 2.4. Now, instruments, we have a lot of different instruments in there, some more typical than others that you would expect, some more traditional, some more modern. Trumpets and saxophones fall under that kind of modern era and what you'd expect to hear, but the guiro, the guitarra and the accordion and the tambora are all typical traditional instruments, and we might come across those in other Caribbean instruments, other Caribbean styles that we'll come across in the next couple of weeks. Did you expect the accordion in there? I don't think I did when I first came across the style. Now, call and response. Remember, this is your musical question answer, so somebody will state a rhythm or a melody and others will respond to it. It might be worth thinking about how that has come across and how that is then used in the music. It might be worth thinking about how is that used in other genres? How is that used perhaps in African music? And like most Caribbean types of music and genres, they use simple lyrics about everyday life and about love and about emotions. There's nothing that is too complex about the rhythms and about the lyrics when they are there. You will see below the merengue rhythm. I would like you to try and have a go at clapping that. Pause the video now, try and clap that for 4 bars through. So repeat it as you can see it. Okay, now is a chance for you to have a go at answering the questions in activity 2.3. Can you pause the video now? Give yourself as much of a go as you possibly can. And now on to the answers. Okay, so where does this style of music come from? Well, it comes from the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean islands. Key features of this music are that you could say it is in 2/4, it has a fast tempo. You could talk about the instruments that are used, the traditional instruments and the non-traditional instruments. So you could say about the guiro, you could say about the saxophone. You could also say about the merengue rhythm. Lots of things that you could talk about, the simple lyrics. The harmony in this style of music mainly uses the tonic and the dominant. Remember, that is the first and the fifth notes of the scale. The typical 2-bar merengue rhythm, I'll take that one and I'll trust you on that one. And instruments used, I have just also already mentioned them. You could have the accordion, the tambora, you could have saxophones, you could have trumpet. I have missed out that you could also have voice. And now for your final task of today's lesson, I would like you to compose as many merengue rhythms as you possibly can and write them down in your workbook. The best thing that I would say to you here is go and grab a pan or something from the kitchen that you could make noise on. You have now the time to end the video and complete activities 2.4 and 2.5. If you have any issues, please make sure to contact your music teacher. And please make sure to keep liking and viewing these videos. Thanks.